So you're watching this video and you're probably in the home buying limbo, right? You need to know exactly what to do and how to do it. So in this video, I'm going to break down how to buy a house and what steps do I need to take in order to purchase a home. Hey, what's going on? This is Emmanuel Lunt and this is Ready for the Lifestyle. Thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time on my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button where I'll be sharing tips and tricks for your everyday entrepreneur in order to grow and scale your business financially and structurally. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell and comment below. Let me know exactly what type of videos you may want to see in the near future. So let's get into this topic. So being able to purchase a home should not be a jigsaw puzzle. It should be easy and uncomplicated, but I can tell you right now, this is something that a lot of people still have questions about and is frustrated on finding the answers to. So in this video, I want to provide you some detailed information and some steps that you could take right now in order to initiate the process for you if you're ready. Okay, let's go. So the question is, are you really ready to take on the challenge of purchasing a home? Because a lot of people think that it's an easy task, especially if they're coming from a renter's perspective. At the end of this video, you should be well versed in the steps it takes to buy a home. I know the home buying process can be difficult to navigate, but what I want to do in this video is break down how to buy a house in 11 steps and what steps you need to take in order to purchase your home. The first step is deciding if you're ready to commit to buying a home, because this is very important. Buying a home is a commitment. Obviously, it's not the same as renting, and what you want to understand is before you go into looking for any type of approvals or home shopping, you need to understand that you're ready to make this commitment. And in that commitment, it also requires you to have a few things in place, okay? One of them is employment. You want to make sure that you're on a job for as long as possible, because this is something that is going to come up as far as the application. If you do have a stable job, a steady income to put towards paying your mortgage. So another detail you might want to pay attention to is debt to income ratio. And this is one instrument that lenders use in order to calculate if you can make monthly payments. So let's just say your monthly bills come out to $2,000 and you only make $6,000 a month. That's 33% of the ratio that's needed to calculate in debt to income ratio. In most cases, lenders will require you to have less than 50% DTI. Something else that you should consider is no money down options, which would require you to have a liquid asset. So there are ways that you can use liquid assets in order to put no money down payments, such as using an existing property. So let's just say you do have a home and you own this home and you still owe on this home, but the value of the home, which is the equity, is still there. What you can do is do a refi cash out, where the bank will allow you to take out the excess money from the equity in order to make a down payment for your new home. So that's one method that you can use in order to purchase a home with no money down. But this may not apply to you if you're a first-time home buyer, only investors. But if you're looking to buy a house with low income or bad credit as well, you can look at this video I'll put right here. So another thing you may want to look at is your credit score. Prior to going to any lenders or looking at any houses, you want to make sure that your credit score is up to par, because this will determine how much you're paying on your mortgage as well. And you don't want to be wasting thousands of dollars towards a mortgage where you could have did some simple things to your credit score in order to give you a better chance. So if you do have any problems such as utilization, derogatory remarks on there, I would probably put a pause on you searching for a home until you fix those first. But other than that, if you do need that help, I also have a book right here. This is my book that I wrote. It's on Amazon. But what I'll do, if you leave a comment below, also if you click on a link, I'll leave a link stating a free credit repair book, and it'll explain exactly what you can do in order to improve your credit score. I'll send you a free digital copy, so comment below. So here's a useful tip. If you do have a low credit score and no derogatories, it may be utilization. So what you can do is actually pay your credit card or whatever loan it is down prior to going to applying, and that may increase your credit score by 50 to 150 points. Also, you can actually use the piggybacking strategy, which is an authorized user. You can find a friend or family member and ask them to sign you on to their credit card. Not saying that you'll get the credit card, but you'll have the history and everything that comes with the history as far as the points. So try to use that strategy when you're trying to raise your credit score extremely fast. So the last thing I want to mention is your willingness to actually live in a place for 30 years or more. Because when you're buying a home, it is a commitment. It's not an apartment. Usually with apartments, you sign a lease and that may end in 1 year, but this is a commitment that you may end up staying in and your children's children may end up staying in. So you want to make sure that you are stable and you're ready to actually make that decision. So step number 2, your DTI. You want to make sure that you calculate your DTI properly. You want to make sure that you can actually afford the payment, and this all boils down to, are you really ready to make this commitment? Because when it comes down to a home or a house payment, you don't want to miss any payments. You do want to make sure that you keep up the quality of life and the things that you were doing. But if you're, you want to take the time out to calculate exactly what you're spending your money on, and if you do have access money to spend on monthly payments to a mortgage. Another thing too is, if you're having a problem calculating your DTI, what I'll do in the description below is I'll leave a link to a home affordable calculator where you'll be able to calculate your DTI. It'll tell you exactly what you may need to know in order to purchase a home. So now we're at step number 3. That's closing costs and down payment. So if you do not have any of these things, I think you need to stop what you're doing and rethink your strategy again, because you're missing the whole point of going for house searching if you cannot pay for a home and you don't have the money to actually secure this property, right? Obviously, that does not apply for anyone who has low income or bad credit, because I did make a video up here just for that reason, right? If you do have low income, bad credit, there's government funded programs that's guaranteed for low income, bad credit individuals. So if you want to check that out, you want to go and click on that link that I put up there, all right? Saving this money for your down payment and closing costs is very important, especially knowing that the bank will not give you 100% finance toward purchase of a home. You're going to end up putting down 20% if it's an investment property, or, if this is your second home, or you're going to end up paying about 3.5% if you'll qualify for one of the other programs that they have, such as the USDA loans or the VA loans. And there's tons of programs out there, but you do need to have some type of down payment. So now we're at step number 4, getting pre-approved for a mortgage. So once you receive your pre-approved letter from the bank, now you're ready to actually go and search for a home. And this letter is based on credit, income, and assets. So this obviously puts you in a different predicament than you were at the very beginning. On top of having a pre-approved letter, you may want to look at the mortgage options that's available to you prior to going to purchase a home as well. You may save thousands of dollars by looking at these different programs. And I did make a video so you don't have to do the research. It'll be right here above on the different programs that's out there, such as conventional, jumbo loans, USDA loans, and much more. So go check out that video when you get a chance. Hey guys, don't forget to like this video and comment below. Let me know if you're ready or you feel equipped to purchase a home by typing home in the comments below. So now we're on step number 5 of the home buying process, which is finding a real estate agent. So finding a good real estate agent is extremely important. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but you do need to know exactly who they represent, because in a transaction, there's a real estate agent that represents the buyer and one that represents the seller. So you'll know that in the disclosures that you will sign, and also the percentage that they're willing to charge you for doing this transaction. You need to know this prior to even engaging. And yes, it is possible not to use a real estate agent to purchase a home, but I do not recommend it because of the litigation process if anything was to go wrong, and especially in the contract. You need to know exactly what the contract states, and there's a lot of terms that a regular person don't understand. So I do explain to people, definitely use someone in the profession rather than do it yourself, and it will save you tons of money and headache in the long run. So now we're actually at step number 6 in the home buying process, and now it's time to find a home. So to make this process a lot easier, I suggest, and this is just a suggestion, that you actually get a licensed realtor, because it makes it so much simple, especially running around from different places, looking in newspapers, or even looking online. They have tons of websites, incorrect information. You want the actual information on the property that you're looking at. So your licensed realtor would be your best resource in this section. I looked online previously for new houses, and sometimes the square footage is even off. The listing price of the house is way off, or even the house that's listed is not even being sold. So it's very important to get with a realtor, because he has like the national system, the MLS system, that will be able to give you the factual information on the property of it. Also, I want to mention this fun fact to you guys. What mortgage means is actually a Latin word. Mortgage means till death in Latin. So if you didn't know what mortgage mean, and why we have it for so long, and most of us die with the mortgage, that's because that's what it means, is till death. So that was just a fun fact I just wanted to share with you guys. Now we're at step number 7, and that's making an offer. So like I told you, you want to work with a good realtor that will be able to evaluate the property first prior to you even making this offer, because you're going to make this in writing, and it does require at least a 1 to 2% commitment fee as well. So you don't want to, commit to something that you haven't really seen or you don't have the knowledge of. I suggest that you get all details prior to making this happen. So after the offer is submitted, the seller can do one of 3 things. They can actually accept the offer as is, or they can probably reject the offer totally, or they can counter the offer. And this can happen if it's not up to par or what they were expecting for, dollar amount for the property, or there was some other issues that was involved with the offer as well. So this is the reason why you need to have a licensed realtor, because they will be there as a buffer to actually negotiate these prices with the seller. So now we're at step number 8 of the home buying process, which is getting an appraisal for the home. So my suggestion, just a suggestion, that you actually get an appraisal prior to you buying a property. This will help you actually make the right determination on buying a property, especially in the valuation of the property. You'll know exactly if you're paying the right price for the property, and any damages that may be in the property that you didn't foresee. You can also be able to negotiate that. If your negotiation process came back, you'll be able to actually assess the property well and make the right decision. And the 9th step of purchasing a home is asking for repairs or credits. You want to make sure that you get the appraisal done prior to you purchasing the home. Normally the bank will send out an appraisal, but you can get one done prior to that. And the reason why, you want to be able to renegotiate if possible, lower the price that you're about to pay on a home, especially if you're about to live in this home for a long time, or even, just the general fact of you don't want to overpay on any property. So now we're at the 10th step of the home buying process, which is doing a walkthrough. You want to do 100% walkthrough yourself. You probably had the realtor walk through and look at the property, and even an appraiser and an inspector go and look at the property. But now you want to put eyes on it yourself, and even bring in your family too as well. You want them to see and have a feel for the house, because this is something that may be in your family for over 30 years, not just 30 years. You make it a 30-year commitment on paper. This may be in your family for generations, and you want to know exactly what you're getting into, and you may not know that from other people's eyes. You want to go in there and see for yourself. So before you sign on that dotted line, you want to walk on that property, and you want to observe every nook and cranny of the home, every room, and just to see, get a whole feel for the property before you actually sign. Okay folks, we are at the end. We are at step number 11 in buying your home, and that is closing. So you're at the closing now, and you're ready to make these moves. You're already seen the house. You actually seen the house with your own eyes. You had your realtor, you had it inspected and appraised as well. Also, you're financially sound and ready. Your credit is there, your DTI is there as well. Now you're ready to sign on the dotted line to make this deal sealed. So what you have to do is 3 days prior to closing, you'll be getting disclosures. You'll be able to look through these disclosures prior to you going to the bank to sign, and you're going to be signing at the table with the bank in order for you to close on the house. And once you close and you sign those papers, you are officially a home owner. So congratulate yourself, you made it. You got your first home. So thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I have on this topic. Don't forget to check the comments below and leave me a comment. Let me know how I did on this video, and if there's any other subjects that you would love for me to talk about. Don't forget to also check out my other videos I have as well, explaining the process that you may take on buying a house with low income or bad credit as well. And thanks again for tuning in. See you.